the ego, the soul, the spirit, and God, the universe. All of these things come together and are one. But it's pretty cool that there's this kind of separation that takes place in our human experience, where we get to experience each individual part of this on some kind of cosmic level within and without ourselves. So in this series on Vibes and Frequencies, we're going to be discussing the ego, the soul, the spirit, and God, and where we fit into this as who we are, and, kind of in a sense, like, what are we doing here? So this is going to be really exciting because we're going to be working through a lot of the mechanics of reality, understanding the physicality that we exist in, this kind of illusory state, and the fact that this is really kind of a matrix-esque type system. And once we tap into certain principles and have a little bit more awareness as to what we are and what's going on here, all of a sudden we become a lot more free, life's a lot more fun, and we stop punching in our dreams, So, welcome back to Vibes and Frequencies. My name is Nathan Lindsay. I am actually the host here on Vibes and Frequencies, just kind of a facilitator for this space. And as I said, in this series, we're going to be exploring the ego, soul, spirit, and God. So in this episode, we're just diving straight in to the ego and talking about what this is and our placement with it. So before we get started, definitely make sure to scroll below and subscribe to Vibes and Frequencies so that you do not miss future episodes in our series here. So, getting started. Imagine that you go to sleep at night and you've just got some wild dreams going on. And you wake up in the morning and it's this weird feeling, it's it's this crazy trip. A lot of times our dreams feel so real that when we wake up, it's almost like our eyes are like goopy and glued shut and that you got to like pull yourself out of it. Sometimes our dreams are so vivid and so powerful and intense that we carry them with us for the first few hours of our day. Sometimes a dream is so powerful we carry it in our memory for weeks at a time, if not our entire lives, always remembering this dream. Now, when we look at what a dream is, of course, we can't be too sure. We can't know for certain, and that's one of the principles that takes place within our matrix system, is that we really can't know. The more we know, the further we are away from what it actually potentially really is. Notice how I say actually and potentially together. This is the irony of the universe. This is like the second time in a Vibes and Frequencies series I've said irony instead of irony. It's a funny one. Where is this coming from? I don't know. So, when we look at what a dream is, however, and when we look at what it has been deciphered as through our own use of science, which is a great way within the matrix to explain the external world and certain reasons even internal things might be having processes like this, is it shows that dreams are our subconscious mind kind of playing out certain scenarios and things. So this is one way that science might explain it. Here's another way that we can look at it to help us better understand the ego and our placement here in the universe with it. Dreams are our person, us, our being in this sense, playing out energy that is outside of us and inside of us. Energy that we're holding on to, energy that we're carrying, that we pick up as part of our experience. Sometimes we're not processing it or interacting with it fully and expressing it on the physical level. Now, firstly, this is not healthy that we're not expressing it and that we require our dreams to play it out for us. So I highly recommend you scroll below at the end of this video and you check out top 4 methods to heal vibrational trauma within the body. In this video, we discuss very powerfully how we can express this energy and release it in a much healthier and fulfilling way. So definitely check out that that video below. If you ever feel any resistance or tension or pain within yourself, this video is definitely for you. So moving forwards, dreams are our way of playing out this energy that we're carrying. There's this energy that we are, and we're not always expressing it on the physical level. So we go into dreams, and our dreams are essentially a hallucination that even science can agree is a hallucination of our mind, that we are projecting this dream state reality, and we're creating a story that is based on the energy that we are feeling and carrying. So let's say this again in a more kind of simple way. We are energy, but we're not always in tune and in alignment with that. And so our dreams oftentimes reflect stories that are symbols to us to help us play out this energy, right? The stories themselves when we go to sleep aren't real. We wake up back into physical reality. We wake back up out of the dream into this, always returning to this, right? So these dreams are a story that help us to express this energy. And the ego is no different. That's exactly what we've been walking towards here in this video. The ego is no different from what we've just expressed. The ego is a dream. It is a story. What we really are on what many will call a higher level, which we're going to continue on in this series and take this further. So again, definitely recommend scrolling below and subscribing, because this is really just the surface intro to this conversation. But what many people would refer to as a higher level, we are energy. We are this being state. So our ego experience, which is quite literally our physical reality, your ego is your human meat suit. It is the brain within it that thinks, that understands, that has ideas, that believes things. All of these things, your avatar that's interacting with reality and reality itself is the ego. This is the ego, reaching out and grabbing this microphone. Everything in physical reality is ego. It is all reflections of the ego. Now, it's a story, right? Many of us identify with our character in this reality state. We identify with our character. We believe all these things that are happening are actually happening, and we lose ourselves in the story. This is essentially what our ego experience is. We are losing ourselves in a story. The story itself is not real. The story itself is not real. It is an illusion. It is an illusion, okay? None of this is real. It's a story that's playing out. The energy is quote unquote real. Again, stay tuned for future episodes. The energy itself is real, and our ego experience is simply a story, an illusion that we are dreaming that is symbolically creating a storytelling of the energy that we are. It's very quite simple. When you go to sleep at night, you have a dream that is playing out your subconscious mind and energy that your human meat suit is carrying. The ego experience is exactly the same. And what's really cool about this is actually that we are existing in a fractal, which, if you're not sure what I mean by that, highly recommend, again, at the end of this video, we've got a bunch of great series tagged below. Highly recommend that you scroll below and you check out our Akashic Records series, where we discuss the dimension of before creation, the energy of stillness, right? Connection to God's source creation in this kind of sense. Now, we discuss in this specific episode I'm talking about, it's called Episode 1, the Akashic Records series. Definitely click below, definitely subscribe, definitely hit this channel up for some good stuff. We discuss how reality is a fractal, that within every single thing, it's a tunnel vision-esque type experience, where what is found on this level is found here, and what's found here is found here. All of the same equation continues to expand into each. So the same way that we go to sleep in this version of our reality and experience, and we play out energy that we're carrying on this level, our physicality, our ego, this experience is the exact same thing. We are playing out the energy that is on the next level up, in a sense. It's really quite exciting. So this is one way that we can look at the ego. Now, when ego becomes a quote-unquote problem is when we start feeling that the ego is a problem. It is really quite simple. Many people in the spiritual community like to talk about the ego as if it's something to transcend or push away or even let go of. But this is the amazing experience that we are here in. The ego is not something to push away. It's something that simply is. It is one with the experience that we are. So when we start feeling that things in this reality are a problem, when we start resisting them, when we start pushing against them, when we start having a problem with the way that things are and we start thinking that things need to be different than they are right now, this is when we create pain and suffering, and this is when the ego becomes a problem. Is because now in your dream, you are starting to dream and hallucinate that it is a problem. And you're very unconditionally supported in your dreaming. Very much so. So a fun tip to just kind of add in here is in this dream that we exist in, it's incredibly possible and very viable for you to not attach to any outcome within this dream. It's entirely possible for you to not attach with your human avatar that is the hallucination of this experience and all the interactions you have with anybody, all the things that you do or don't do. It's entirely possible to not attach to any of it and maintain this energetic position of it's a dream. And this is when you can finally find yourself in it and feel the malleability of the universe and reality and feel the beautiful gift that it is, rather than attaching to this idea that it's a problem, that there are things to resist, that we need to push things away, that right now is not perfect and therefore I need to go out and do this, this, and this to change it. The problem is that there is no problem. But we've just been hallucinating that there is. Now, to fully feel this perfect state of bliss, of there being no problem, and everything's just good and peachy, it's very simple. It's called being fully present. So I'm not going to spend any time interacting with this subject because we've actually already got a series with multiple episodes here on Vibes and Frequencies all about what it means to be fully present. Again, recommend scrolling below at the end of this video, checking out the Fully Present series if this resonates with you, to find yourself free within the dream, to find it being malleable, to have more fun, to laugh, to smile, to not put so much weight on things. Scroll below, subscribe, make sure you check out that playlist on full presence in the moment. So, this is how we would express what the ego is. I haven't necessarily heard other people express it in this way. It's just my own personal experience of the illusion and my own looking inside of myself and feeling that, oh my gosh, I'm not real. What the heck's going on? And it's a little bit challenging at first because it challenges your existence. But when you surrender to it, it's like all of a sudden, oh, actually, this is much better now. It was always perfect. I was just the one hallucinating that it wasn't, But there are some other ways that we can explain what is the ego in a more kind of scientific way. I like to express it as a dream and use that analogy of when we go to sleep at night because it's very much the same energy. But if you're somebody who really is an analytical thinker and likes to understand things, here's another explanation, and then I've got a fun joke for you. Stay tuned for the joke. It's a really good one. It's going to be so funny if I forget to say the joke. You guys are going to be like, man, I waited all the video for the joke. Where's the joke? Maybe that's the joke. We'll see. We'll see. So another way that we can look at ego is memory. It's very simple. Think about your great grandmother who is, very Jewish and has a Jewish-esque type nose feature. Now, you might find in your human vehicle suit as Nathan that you've got that same Jewish nose. Isn't that interesting? That within the cells of my body, all of this information has been passed down. Think about it. When I'm walking through reality, I don't constantly have to sit here and think, I've got a Jewish nose, I've got a Jewish nose, for it to be true. It's always there. It never goes away. I could get a nose job, but no, I'm not going to. That's not the point. The point is that I don't have to walk around thinking, I have long curly hair, I have long curly hair. Because your ego, this human meat suit aspect of it, retains all of this information for you. It takes zero conscious effort. You are holding all of this information within your being. This is ego, right? This is momentum. Throughout all of creation, I think it's interesting because scientists like to think of this as a big bang of energy exploding out in all directions. However, looking within myself, it feels pretty obvious it's not a bang in all directions, but it's more of like a poof in one single direction and constantly expands out this way. But it started from one single point. But there's this momentum, right? There's this tunnel of energy, and everything that happens within this ripple expands and echoes into the next and the next and the next and the next. And within each ripple, we can make different noises, and it adds to the next echo and momentum. And it's all these ripples of creation and experience. But it's all got this whoosh direction, one single direction that it's doing. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. So this is a lot of the information of what the ego is. Because all of the things that happened in the previous ripple and echo, in the first wave of creation, are being experienced again, literally exactly the same. And you yourself are finding yourself in this experience, watching it all play out over and over and over again. And within this illusionary dream, we can make subtle differences and choices and direct ourselves in things like this. But all we're really doing is creating more momentum and chaos for the next ripple. Right? It's very interesting. I'm trying not to tangent in the wrong direction here, but at the end of the day, I'm not even the one making this video. I'm watching it just like you guys. It's really fun. That's why I have so much fun making videos these days, because I'm not making them anymore. I'm watching it just like you. But this is what the ego is. The ego is memory. Just like we have all the memory from our great-great-great-great-great-great-grandma and our uncles, and it's all in the cells of our body, just like our cells hold this information, so do we hold information energetically. And so this energy that we're talking about that's on a higher level is actually still part of the ego. And this is what we're going to be explaining and taking further in the next episode, which is about the soul. So again, definitely make sure to subscribe and stay tuned. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this. So our ego, within this dream that is the ego, our ego likes to understand everything and hold on to all the information, all the memory, everything that happens within the dream. Our ego wants to hold it and carry it and identify with it. So our ego, physically speaking and being speaking, is a lot like a sponge for information. Our ego is memory. It's very simple. Our ego is memory. We hold on to everything, we carry it with us, and we identify with it. And this is what the ego is. A memory sponge and an illusionary dream. Neither are actually real, and yet here we mother freaking are, experiencing it. Wow. My name is Nathan Lindsay, host of Vibes and Frequencies. Thank you for watching this video with me. This was an interesting one. Lots of vibes, lots of good times. Hope to catch you in the next video. Let me know if you'll be there. I'll see you soon. Much love, and have a great whatever it is for you. Enjoy your ego. It's a gift.